Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Please do like and subscribe for more confessions. I ghosted my long-term BF, got into an argument which led him to say, "I could care less about you. If you died tomorrow, I wouldn't go to your funeral." I didn't say anything back, just never spoke to him again. He's tried to contact me several times since, but I want this to be the last words he's ever said to me. Bitch is bitch. I broke up with my boyfriend because he yelled at me. I'm a 29-year-old woman. He and I dated for about 8 months. Our relationship was fine. We did things together. We had fun. There weren't any obvious red flags, but I always got this feeling that he didn't value me much. At times he seemed a bit cold and acted like he was annoyed with me for no apparent reason. It all came to a head when, 3 days ago when we were hanging out at my place, he asked me to hand him the TV remote. I was sitting right next to him on the couch and was working on my laptop. I reached for the remote without looking and accidentally handed him my phone instead. Though it was funny after I realized what I had done. I laughed as I handed him the actual remote. He had that same annoyed look on his face. He began yelling at me and called me a stupid bitch. I was stunned. I have never raised my voice at him, or disrespected him in any way. I did not deserve to be treated this way. I told him our relationship was over and asked him to leave. He told me to calm down and stop overreacting. I simply walked to the front door, opened it wide and told him to get out, and never come back. He walked out telling me I was being dramatic. The very next day I returned the presents he had given me. They meant nothing to me now. My friends are telling me that I did overreact and I shouldn't just end a relationship, because he yelled at me once, and have asked me to patch things up. His friends too began harassing me on social media. I blocked them all. His friends, not mine. I'm not going to reach out to him to try to work things out as some people have suggested, because I know that I do not deserve this treatment. I've always treated him with respect and I deserve that in return. I just needed to tell somebody. Thank you for reading. I, 27F, had sex with a bigger guy and I honestly loved it. So there's this guy I met who clearly was interested in me, who's definitely a very big man, easily over 300. He wasn't really physically my type, or at least I thought so, but he's definitely handsome, just big. He had asked me out and he's very sweet, and so I said yes because I figured if nothing else we'd have a nice time. We went to dinner, which was nice, and as I talked more with him, I realized how judgmental I was. I was assuming he'd get a burger and a couple beers or something, and he got a very light meal. I asked him if he was actually hungry and he told me he was trying to lose weight, and that medication that he had to be on made it very hard, due to changes in his metabolism and energy level. He went on about it in some depth. He has a regular light workout routine of what he can manage and a restricted diet. He had lost almost 40 pounds this year so far. I honestly felt really proud of him in that moment, and after dinner he asked if I wanted to back to his place for a movie on Netflix, and maybe a drink. We were having a great time talking, so I agreed. We went to his very nice apartment and were watching the new IT while having a couple drinks. Well, during one of the scary parts I jumped and instinctively grabbed him, and he was so warm and soft, like a big teddy bear. I remember looking at him and I kissed him without even thinking about it. We kept making out and eventually we had sex, and it was honestly the best sex I think I've ever had. He was very gentle and giving and I enjoyed every minute. I woke up in his arms the next morning and we had sex again. After I noticed his morning wood and we made plans to do this again. I honestly really like this guy, and fuck what society thinks about him weighing literally over twice as much as me. He's very sweet, caring, feels amazing to cuddle, and is honestly likely the best lover I've ever had. My husband and I tried pegging. It unfortunately did not go well. I'm 35 and a woman for context. I thought pegging my husband would be hot. It's been something that I fantasized about and I got him on board to try it. Well, last night we tried it and it took a lot of lube to get it in, and once I slowly got it in he held in pain, so I backed it out and then he shit everywhere. On the bed, on me and himself. Turns out he had a hemorrhoid he didn't know about, and my strap-on hit it and I pulled out in a hurry, which made him shit. It was pretty disastrous. My husband was so embarrassed he got very upset and angry, and said we aren't trying again, and while I respect his decision and won't try to force it on him, I'm really disappointed. I wanna fuck my coworker on shift. So I work at a little pizza joint and normally it's busy and our managers are there. My coworkers are mainly all men and I am one of the very few females that work. Most are in high school so they don't work a lot. I work the most of all of them. There however is this one guy I work with that is cute, but about 10 years older than me. I have this really bad fantasy of being on shift, especially at the end of the night when it's just the two of us are on closing, because no one else is there. I really badly want to ask him to just bend me over and take me from behind. I feel like asking him to hang out as well, but I'm too nervous. What do you think I should do? What else should I look for to see if he's flirting back? I poured wine on my mom's dress at her stepdaughter's wedding. I'm not sorry. First, I need to introduce you to the cast of characters involved. There's my mother, my stepsister, Alice, name changed, her father, my stepdad, and I'm a 34-year-old woman. Now, my mother is a typical narcissist. She honestly believes that the universe should and does revolve around her. When my parents divorced my brother and I chose to live with our dad, about a year later my mom married a guy who had a daughter with his first wife. My mom has never liked Alice and used to constantly bully and gaslight the poor girl whenever she went to visit her dad. Even now, when Alice is an independent adult woman, my mom tries to compete with her for her husband's attention. It's quite pathetic. Alice and I became friends soon after we met. My brother and I were sent to visit my mom. Alice was there too and actually unloaded on me, angrily telling me what a monster my mom was. I nodded and agreed with everything else said. I knew exactly what she was talking about as my mom has subjected me to the same abuse and gaslighting. Alice was taken aback by this and started crying. She tearfully told me all about my mom's actions. I comforted her and told her I believed her. In that moment we became friends. Our mutual aversion to my mom's bullshit bonded us. Over the years, we often teamed up and defended each other from my mom's psychological attacks. It also didn't hurt that we had several shared interests. Fast forward to last week. My stepsister, and close friend, married the love of her life. I was one of the bridesmaids. My mom was there too, of course, in a white, full-length dress. Even on Alice's wedding day, my mom felt the need to torment her and try to upstage her. I was infuriated when I saw that my friend was close to tears because of this. I walked up to my mom and told her that she needed to change, and that she obviously wore this dress to hurt Alice. She just laughed and told me to stop being silly. I asked her one more time. She dismissed me again with that annoying smirk. I just said fine. Just remember that I gave you an out. Then I got a wine bottle and poured its contents on my mom's white dress. For a minute, she was stunned into silence. Then she began screaming at me. I just smiled and reminded her that I gave her a chance. Thankfully, my stepdad decided to grow a spine and told her to stop making a scene. She told him she needed to go buy a dress and he needed to drive her. Stepdad refused and told her she has to go alone. Mom left in a huff and didn't come back. We later found out that she went home. The wedding turned out to be absolutely splendid. Alice was glowing with joy. She later hugged me and thanked me for getting rid of her stepmonster. All in all, it was a great day. Were my actions petty? Yes. Immature? Probably. Justified? Absolutely. Today, my next-door pregnant neighbor knocked on my door. Around 7 p.m. today, I heard some knocking on my door. I opened it and it was my next-door pregnant neighbor. She was, I think, in her 7th or 8th month. She was holding a small plate in her hand. In a very shy voice, she asked me if I can give her some of whatever I was cooking because she liked the smell. I think pregnant women sometimes have strong cravings and they cannot resist it. Anyway, she was shy and apologized a lot for her request since we don't know each other. I laughed and told her it is okay. I was cooking a traditional meal from my country and the recipe has olive oil, garlic, jalapenos and some spices. I think the smell was nice. I gave her some of my dinner, then she left. I watched her walking home like a cute little penguin who's happy with her successful little hunting. I felt really happy too for some reason. I've realized I detest my boyfriend. We've been together almost 3 years. We live together. I support us 100%. In the time we've been together, he's worked maybe 2 months. He's depressed and anxious and he steals all the oxygen and joy out of every room. He never wants to go anywhere but then complains that we never go anywhere. I got him an interview at my work, a moderately well-paid entry-level position. He refused to go, saying he wasn't ready, then spends time complaining about not having a job. You get the idea. Everything in our lives revolves around him and his moods. He cries, yells or just sighs incessantly. There's no laughter or happiness in our home. I walk on eggshells all the time. I dread coming home from work. He grabbed me a few days ago and shook me so hard, I'm bruised on my upper arms. The apartment is in my name, but he literally has nowhere to go because he has no friends, and he refuses to contact his family, so he'd be homeless and I can't do that to him, or any human really. I fantasize about being alone all the time, like only cooking or shopping or doing anything just for myself. It would be incredible to be able to breathe again. His birthday was last week and I saved up for a month to get him something related to his hobby. When I gave it to him, he said, "I just told you I didn't want to do this anymore." What were you thinking? I think at that point any love I still felt for him just died. He doesn't cook, clean, care for his dog or do anything but play video games. I'm trapped in a prison and I just don't really care what happens to me anymore. I don't want to die, but I wouldn't be upset if I didn't wake up tomorrow, if that makes sense. I know what I should do, but I'm just a dumb bitch. Thanks for reading. Typing it out helps. Well, this reached the front page and now I'm super uncomfortable with everything, so I'm not going to be posting anymore. I appreciate all the advice, the tough love too. Hopefully I'll be back with a happy update in the future. Thanks for everything. Reddit.